Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Look here, y'all. I'm finna tell you something, man, that's gonna probably shock you beyond belief. Man, once upon a time back in the day, me and my son, we were sellers, right? My son, Lil Joe. He got engaged to a correctional officer. You heard me right. He got engaged to a correctional officer. I'm gonna tell you that story, man. The true story now. You don't believe me? Ask him. Ask him to tell you about it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna blow your mind, right? But I'm finna tell you about it. But ask him about his version of the story, how he saw it, right? Because it's one of those for the ages. I'm trying to tell you now. So y'all get ready, because this is one of those stories that's gonna get you too, right? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now check this out, right? Me and my son, we settlers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even tell you what prison was in, right? But this is real deal Holyfield, right? But me and my son, we settlers. Get this new correction officer come up in the power, right? You know what I'm saying? Young gal, not bad looking, none of that. You know what I mean? She come up in the power after 2 days, and I'm gonna have to tell you this story too. After 2 days, my son give her my cell phone number. Yeah, I got a cell phone. So he give her the number. I'm pretty sure he's told you that story on his platform, but I'm going to tell you my version of it, you know what I'm saying, in another episode. But anyway, this episode is talking about him getting engaged to her. Check this out, though, right? They getting all footsie with each other, you know what I'm saying? When she getting ready to leave at night, that she come by locking all the doors, he'll be standing on the door like he's lost his mind. His hand will be halfway out the door, and I'm looking like, what in the world are they doing? Because the lights are off in the park, so it ain't like anybody could really see them. But you just never know. It's the penitentiary. Because everybody watching the officers when they walk around to make sure they don't walk up on them. Somebody's on the door making sure that the celly is straight. You know what I'm saying? If he's in there doing something, watching the pod, watching the officer in the pod. So she walked by his door. Guess what, y'all? Her hand, I see her hand gently caress his hand real fast. It's a real subtle thing, but then he'll reach out, he'll grab hers. You know what I'm saying? As her hand is pulling away. Some real romantic stuff. Straight out of a novel. You know what I'm talking about? They got it really going on, right? Then he'll turn around, look at me and laugh, and then jump up on the top bunk. I said, boy, you pillow. What you got going on? He said, you don't know nothing about this, Daddy. You've been locked up too long. You don't know nothing about this. I said, really now? I said, how you think you got here? I don't know nothing about that. How you think you got here? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you just think you was hatched out of an egg or something. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. He started laughing. So now I'm like, look here, man, you know what you're doing? He was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I said, okay. I said, but you don't even know her. She ain't even been in this pond but a few days. He said, I got her though. I said, okay, you got her, Like I say, a couple of days go by, he done popped up and said, Dad, she gonna call me tonight. What? Wait a minute. He done gave her the phone number. Again, I ain't gonna go into deep detail in that. I'm gonna do that in another episode. But this one here, this is about him getting engaged. So time going on, they talking, they kicking it, they this, they that. It's like maybe 4 or 5 months. It ain't been that long. You feel me? 4 or 5 months go by. He asked me. He said, Daddy, I need a favor. What you need? He said, I need baby to go find me an engagement ring and give it to Gab for me. We gonna get engaged. I said, do what? Yeah, we gonna get engaged. I said, wait a minute. I said, what you know about her? Oh, he's naming off moms, dad, where she from. He been talking. They been talking. He's learning a lot about her. He know a little bit about her. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting here saying to myself, this can't be real. My son is going to get engaged to a correctional officer. Now, let me tell you something. He getting ready to go for parole too, right? So they're planning, get engaged. When he get out, they get married. All this and all this kind of stuff. But I'm looking at it like this. I said, okay, my son talking about getting engaged, huh? I said, I think my son just trying to do this to lock her down so she won't go nowhere. Could it be? Could it be that my son is trying to lock her down? Is he insecure? What's going on? Not my son. We are too confident of people. Too confident. We're so confident that some people think we're conceited. So I'm looking at him like, well, what you up to? Guess what he tell me? I love her, Daddy. Oh, man. The L word. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's important. Because my son, he don't use that word lightly. He don't use that word in manipulation, trying to get over, or none of that. If my son say he love you, he loves you. So it's something going on. When he said that, I just shook my head like, dadgummit. So now, I got to go on with the move. So guess what? Baby find him a ring. Nice old rock. Nice rock. She meets her, gives her the ring. She come in wearing the ring. I'm looking at it, and then now she calling me Pops. Calling me Pops, speaking to me and all this and that, you know. Ask me did I need anything, all that. Okay, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? All I will tell them is y'all better be careful. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. So my son, he's sitting down there every day. Now check this out. Now everybody's watching. Everybody watch everything in the penitentiary, man. You thinking some secrets? Ain't no secrets up in here. Somebody knows. It's just a matter of what can they do with that information. Now, this is the twist. See, what he didn't realize, in my opinion, and maybe he did. I don't know. We might talk about this in another episode on his platform. But what I don't think he realized was that when she put that ring on and him sitting down there talking to her like he was, right? She had exposed herself to everybody else that she with it for real. Now, that information they can use against her. So what they do? They pop the whip. They ain't tell nobody that they were engaged. She just letting it be known that she's engaged to somebody on the town. But if you engage with somebody on the town, all these googly eyes you making, you can't deny that. You know how it is when you fall in love with somebody. I remember, but back in the day, if you ain't been in love in a while, think about when you were in love with whoever you met, your significant other, when you first met them and y'all all googly eyed and all this. You can't deny it. It's written all over your face. And that's what it was with them. Anybody that looked at them when she came to work, he was in the cage with her all day. Other than to go take a shower or to use a phone just for a break to make it look like they're not together. He wasn't going to chow. No, well, we didn't go to chow anyway. If we went out of the unit, it was about to get some money. But when everybody else go to chow, here he is going somewhere in the back room or something like that to take out the trash so they can touch on each other, whatever the case may be, right? I'm like, man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. One day he tell me, Daddy, watch out for me. Watch out for you? What you finna do? I need to know what you got going on, boy. He said, we finna go, I'm gonna take the trash out. Now when they take the trash out, they go back, it'd be like a little area outside the door to where ain't no cameras, no nothing in the stairwell. I'm standing in the pod, I'm watching. I'm gonna let him know if somebody come in, hoo-de-hoo. That way he'll know somebody's coming. So I'm standing up there, I'm nervous. Cause I'm like, man, what if somebody come through the back door? I can't help him. All I can do is help him if somebody come through the front door. You feel me? So I'm standing up there. Now people starting to come back from chow. When I see them coming up, hoo-de-hoo, then I walk straight on in the cell. Because I don't want nobody to know who said this and who said that, right? But then they curb me. They both come up out of there. They got the warning sign. They come up out of there looking silly. You know when somebody been hot and heavy with something, kissing, and all this and that, and touching and all. Ain't no telling what else they were doing back there. They had a good 8 minutes back there. You know what I'm saying. They come out looking all silly, laughing. He got the little cart thing in his hand like he been out there working. Ain't did nothing. Just faking. Just faking. Like he done took out the trash. It don't take 8 minutes to take out no trash. Most definitely in the penitentiary don't take no 8 minutes to take out no trash. So look. They come on back into the pod. He run upstairs, all excited. You can see he glowing. I'm like, what you got going on, man? Ha 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 ha. You know what it is, Pop. You know what it is. Ha 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 ha. all this and that. And I'm just looking at him. Look at it. Just disgusted. I don't know what you got going on. He laughing. He said, we straight though. We straight. We gonna be good. He run back downstairs. He's sitting in the cage. He got his feet kicked up. He lounging. He done claimed this, and everybody in the pod know it. But they got some info. They know. No matter what she say, they know she with it now. So the move is in effect. All kind of things is going on behind the scenes. The move is they got to get Joe T, Lil Joe, out the way. They got to get him. Because they got somebody that's going. And if she went that fast, they thinking in their mind, she'll go. We got to get her. Got to get her. So guess what happened, y'all? One day during the inspection, now we get inspected 3 times a week. Back then, now it's every day. But back then, 3 times a week, we get inspected. The warden and all of them will come through. We got to be standing on the door. You know what I'm saying? Standing at attention, semi-attention. Not like military attention, but, still standing up with our hands down to our side and stuff like that. Room got to be clean. All of that kind of stuff, right? So they come by. They finish doing the inspection. When they leave, they standing downstairs, and I see them talking. And then the pod officer, she comes up there. This is a different pod officer now, okay, because this is on first shift. The girl my son was messing with, she worked on second shift. But anyway, girl come upstairs. Guess what she say? She said, Joe Baker, both of us say, yeah, what's up? She said, well, okay, which one of y'all numbers such and such and such and such and such and such? I said, that's me. She said, pack your stuff. I said, pack my stuff for what? What's going on? Like, keep in mind, y'all, I was just coming out with my first book, thinking outside the fence. I ain't sold no dope in 3-4 months. I ain't done nothing. I done shut the shop down. I ain't done nothing. Because I'm going all the way clean with it, right? She said, pack your stuff. You leaving. I said, where am I going? She said, you got to go to the back, pen an investigation, but you'll be back. Ain't no big deal. They just got to look into something. They got some notes dropped on you, this and that. I said, oh, it's got to be a mistake because I ain't doing nothing. Pack my stuff, going outside. When I'm going outside, I pass by the green team and all those guys, and they like, where you going, back? I said, they said I'm going to the whole pen an investigation. They push me on to the back. I get in the back. Next thing I know, they come to the door, reclass papers. I said, reclass papers, where am I going? They said, you leaving here. You like messing with the officers, this and that. So at that point, I leaned back. I said, no, they're not talking about me. They're talking about my son. So the officer come back up there later on. Well, the captain come back later on. He said, oh, hey, Joe, it's too late to change it. We made a mistake. This wasn't intended for you. This was intended for your son. But you still got to leave. We're going to get rid of both of y'all. I said, so he going too? He going with me? And they said, yeah, we going to lock him up in a few days. I said, you going to send him down there with me? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. There it is. So whoever, whatever, they done dropped notes to get my son. They end up making a mistake. They got me. Now they finna get my son too. But they end up sending me to Nashville. I ain't done nothing, y'all. I'm used to getting shipped when I do something, but I ain't done nothing then. And they told me it wasn't me. They made a mistake. And that's what I mean by what's going on in here. Once you expose yourself as somebody, as far as on the officer standpoint, as somebody that'll go, then don't think that everybody just sitting back relaxing and chilling. They want a piece of that too. Because you compromise. Yeah, you compromise. And ain't nothing you can do. What you gonna do? Write them up? You run the risk of them putting all your business out there. And then you know they gonna exaggerate. They gonna make it sound real good to the internal affairs when they tell it. And then they gonna come get you. Now you gotta go home and explain that, whether you married, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, kids, parents, whatever. You gotta go home and explain to them why you ain't getting up in the morning and going to work no more. You done got fired because you was in the penitentiary messing with somebody that's locked up. So my son, he baffled. But I think he knew. I think he knew what was going on, right? Because I hadn't been doing anything, but he had. He was messing with her. Long story short, I get down to where I was getting to. We ended up on the phone talking. And we found out that he knew it wasn't intended for me, it was intended for him. All I could tell him at that point was to be safe. Protect yourself because the wolves is out. And that's what happens in here, man. Just when you think you got it going on, the wolves is out. Don't nobody get away. Don't nobody get spared. The only thing is they'll do it without you looking. They ain't gonna do it in your face, they're gonna do it behind your back, you fool. Don't you understand that? If you think this criminal lifestyle is the lifestyle that you want to live, then jump on in with feet first. But you playing a fool's game. I'm telling you now, even when you winning, you losing. Even when you winning, you losing. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.